Unarmus Sportswear, sponsors of Drop the Puck.
Welcome to Drop the Puck. It's 6th versus 5th today, Ben. Dragons versus Hull Jets. This is a mid-table battle for the Laidler Conference that looks on paper to be tasty, but other things will tell us different.
Well, you say tasty. What you've got here is a well-disciplined, well-drilled Hull Jets whose tape-to-tape passing's been clinical, who have got very dangerous players given space on the ice, versus a Deeside Dragons that are, when they find form, come at it head charging straight forward. But can they find the form at the moment on the back end of a 6-4 victory last night against Blackburn Hawks?
Well, you say they had that 6-4 victory against Blackburn Hawks. Yeah, and surprisingly enough, it's not like other teams have been rattling the goals in against Blackburn. They're starting to find their form a bit late in the season. But of course, the Hull Jets, on the other hand, they've come in off a 2-week break, and they've had a head-to-head game, double-header against Widnes Weil, where they lost 3-1 and 1-0. So they're licking their wounds a little bit. Is that a dangerous team to be faced?
I think so, especially because they're well rested as well. One thing we know about Hull, and I can confirm, I saw them getting off the coach earlier, they're a short bench team most times. I don't think I've seen them with a full bench all season, yet they don't need the full bench. They're dangerous in the small numbers because they skate harder, they work faster, and I think the Dragons have got to be careful they don't slip into complacency tonight with that.
Well, they made the trip across the Pennine, and they must say that they've got some key players that we need to be watching out for tonight. Jay Robinson's always up there on the scores.
Jay is he's a man mountain of a figure. He's a great player, but he's lethal. He causes opportunities and he forces mistakes of other teams. He might not always be the one who puts the puck in the back of the net, but he's a creator, and because of that, the Dragons are going to need to shut him down.
Is there anybody else on the Jets that we need to be watching out for?
Yeah, I'd watch out for Richard Hagger as well. He's another dangerous player, and Kieran Beach, the three of them alongside each other. They're a pretty dangerous line. Beach, we know, can put the puck in the back of the net anyway. Hagger loves to get all over those rebounds. Of course, Beach will take the shot, or Hagger will take the shot, and the other's always there straight behind, backing him up, but looking for that rebound. Armstrong's going to have his head on a swivel tonight.
On the other hand, Deeside, a team that have got quite a few players up on the rankings there, because you've got the likes of James Parsons, as we know, and Cy Furnival's up there. But these, not only are they high up on the score sheet, but they're also up there for the wrong reason: discipline.
Yeah, discipline's been an old adage with the Dragons. You look at the discipline records for both teams at the moment. The Dragons is in the 400 minutes already, yet Hull have only got 144 penalty minutes, so that's going to be a major factor tonight. But you're going to see a fair few penalty monsters creep in, I've got a feeling. Well,
you said penalty monsters, of course. Just to name a couple of players, you're looking at Morgan there with 70 points, 70 minutes penalties. Cy Furnival was 63 going into tonight's game. It's going to be hard going, because I kind of figured that if you were playing a team that have got a lot of penalty monsters in there, you're going to try and draw them out and goad them into fighting.
Certainly, there's a lot of red buttons to be pushed. As a team, that should be one of your primary objectives. Upset the flow of the other team, draw them out into the penalties. It's the old thing on hockey. If you've got players in the box and not on the ice doing the job for you. Where the Hull resort to that, though, I don't think they will, because Hull are a very disciplined, clinical team themselves, and they're more tactical than testing. You know what I mean? I don't think they'll need to draw the Dragons out into the penalties. I think sometimes it's just natural for some of them. Saying that, though, if it does go to a stalemate of a game, we know for a fact that the Hull Jets can go to overtime and usually win, because we've seen it in the playoffs, but also 4 times this season so far the Jets have taken a game to overtime. 3 of those have come out as the winners.
Interesting indeed. And the thing that for me, though, is I can't see a team, when 2 teams so close, there's 1 point between them, and there's only 5 points from 6th place up to 2nd place, so everybody's fighting for one of those playoff spots. So nobody's out of the race yet. There's at least seven or 8 teams fighting away there, trying to chase the Widnes Wild. So I think it's time to go down to the ice and catch some of the action. It's time to drop the puck.
Well, Gary's introduced it and we're here, and it's going to be a good game. This is all pivotal on that top 4 challenge at the moment. The Dragons hungry for victory off a win last night against the Blackburn Hawks too, and we've got the Hull Jets off a 2-week break, as Gary's quite rightly said there. Fresh legs, although they're only icing 12 players tonight, but that's not going to be a real hindrance, is it though, Gary? We've seen them do this before.
Yeah, you can't take anything for granted with them, because don't forget the last time the Hull Jets played a couple of weeks back was the head-to-head double header against Widnes Wild, home and away. Lost both of them, so you know that big break and no wins in the last 2 games. You got to wonder whether the Hull Jets are suffering a little bit.
So as we get ready to start this game here tonight, official in the middle there, and the puck drops and we're underway. It's immediately with the Dragons. Dragons play that out to Wainwright. Wainwright near side, looks to try and feed Parsons, does so. Parsons can't get round Simpson. It's gone all the way round for the Dragons, trying to dig it out there. A little bit of a mix-up between Keating, and it's away with the Jets. Shot in from Hager, and again rebound from Gieber.
You cannot give
And
opportunities like that.
Beach there, sorry, with the rebound. Kieran Beach, we have mentioned him in the intro, Gary. He's a known player. He's been with the Jets for a while, and he's dangerous in front of net.
Yeah, you've got to be really, really careful, because anything loose.
Oh, out in front there.
Anything loose like that, and they'll capitalise on it if they can.
And that was Robinson again, another player we mentioned early on. Jay Robinson, pivotal in the games of last season's championship effort. Those playoff games, we saw him there. He had a blinder. He's a key role for them. And as both teams try and settle in early.
Well, it's like I said at the start, Ben, both teams have won against each other, both at opposite barns, and it's with it being 1-1, all evens, you've got to fancy somebody wanting to take this today. And
already,
oh no,
that looks like Chris Jones going to the box for the Dragons. That's a 2-minute for a hooking.
And this is exactly what I was about to say, Ben. You fancy the Dragons having the biggest squad, as long as I'm about to say, and we said at the start, discipline. All keys on the discipline.
So if the Dragons are going to keep handing special teams opportunities to the Jets all night, it's going to be a long night for them. And there it is, cleared out the other end by the Dragons. Going to be a foot race there between Foreman. That was Foreman and Wigglesworth, but it was Foreman that come away with it. And now Jets breaking down the other end with Ward. Ward looks up. Shot from the captain, Ward there. It's gone wide. Spence tries to put it back in. Dragons force it back down into the Jet zone. Bowater out of his net. Just feeds that round. And Foreman lays it on for Hackford. Hackford pushes that puck out wide. Jets using the ice space given to them here by the Dragons wisely. Lovell gets a stick on that, tries to clear it out, can't get it out the zone. Does keep possession of it now though. He's got plenty of opportunity, tried to clear it out, it's come off a body. That was Hager. Out in front, Armstrong's down, round the post.
Ooh.
He's going to freeze that out there, and it's lucky.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just saying there, Ben. Dragons defence looks a little bit of 6s and 7s already this early in the game. And the Jets, as we know, they'll just play their game and then attacking straight away.
So, face-off in the Dragon zones, won by Hull. Robinson with the shot, and it's deflected off the blocker there of Armstrong. Now into the corner. Tying it up. Great work here from the Jets as they look to cycle this round. Out with Gieber. Gieber feeds his man. Shot comes in from Hager. It's out front. Shaw tries to get round there. It's going to be Wainwright who gets the stick on it. Clears out the zone, and Jets are forced to come back. And while they're having a quick line change, let's look at the tendies quickly. So Armstrong in net for the Dragons tonight. Armstrong coming in. 87% save average versus Bowater at the other end with a 91% save average. You'd fancy on paper Bowater out the two.
Yeah, we know Jonah's got a lot of experience, but the one thing you've got to say is that experience counts for nothing when you've got players like Kieran Beach and Jay Robinson pounding down on you.
Saying that though, up the opposite end of the ice, Bowater, we know can go the time. We saw him go overtime, and he has done several times this season already. But if you've got the likes of Parsons, Keaton and Furnival snapping down on you all day, as the puck trickles right across the crease there, that's the end of the penalty on Jones. Back to 5-on-5 action. And Gieber in possession of the puck. Knocks it over for Spence. Forecheck coming from Jones. Finds Robinson in the middle, back. Spence now, plenty of time, gets his head up. Jets all get behind the puck bar one. That's Beach. Spence dumps it in, rings it round. It's going to be the Dragons who get that behind their own net. Pass from Ryan Jones of the Dragons into the corner. It's going to be received by Wigglesworth, pushed forward, picked up by Foreman. Foreman looks to clear it out, only to Morgan at the blue, can't get it. Hackford takes it on for Ward. Ward knocks it on straight onto the stick of Armstrong.
Yeah, and the Jets are right on top of those.
Out front!
Right on top of that Dragons defence.
And that's twice now the Dragons have been caught short with a very quick puck out in the paint.
Yeah, Armstrong's going to have his wits about him tonight.
And now Jet with Simpson back in his own zone. Puts that forward for Hackford. Hackford's not going to get there. It's cut out. Parry. Make sure it's received by one of his teammates. Again, big stretch pass, trying to find that out. Simpson tried to cut it out. Jones is over there. Both going to be back with the Jets as we look to turn and go again. Jets get the head up with Foreman. Foreman dumps that on. Robinson tries to skate inside. Comes all the way round. Chris Jones with the Dragons puts that back the other way. Clears out the zone. Alex Foreman now of the Hull Jets skates back, picks that up. Great forecheck pressure again coming from the Dragons, but they've worked the puck round them. Kieran Robinson takes a big hit there from Chappell on the boards.
Almost takes our cameraman out.
Into the corner. Great pressure early on from the Jets. 5 minutes 12 gone so far. And the puck pushed all the way up to the behind Bowater's net, and we're going to get ourselves an icing call.
Well, intensive pressure already from the Hull Jets, and showing why they're a team to be reckoned with. You can't take them lightly. It doesn't matter how many you travel with. They've got the capability of putting the score on the board.
They have, and certainly, Gary, one of the major things we've noticed, and we spoke about it briefly in the intro, 144 penalty minutes is all Hull have conceded this season. They're a very disciplined team.
Very disciplined indeed.
So the Dragons' key aspect tonight will be keep players on the ice and not in the box. As Gieber's going to get back to that. Puts that round on the board for Beach. Beach feeds the man in the middle in the form of Robinson. Robinson decides to go alone, but he's offside. And the man on the far side there that just skated off. Who that wasn't, it was Hagger. So Hagger pulls the play back for the Jets. Going to have ourselves a face-off in neutral ice. And it's going to be a face-off win for the Dragons. That's Austin. Puts it forward for Parsons. Comes off Keating's stick into the bench there, the Jets. And we're just going to resume play after this short face-off. So
I must say, Ben, it's one of the things I've noticed, and we said it, picked up on it at the start of the show, is how tight it is in that middle of that, this Laidler conference, and how easily teams can pinch games off each other.
Very much so. Shot in from Beach was blocked by Wainwright. But you are right, Gary. It's literally a point here, a point there, and you're leapfrogging 2-3 places at a time. It is so tight in the middle.
Yeah, we've already pointed out, a win tonight could see, technically, Deeside jump 2 places into that 4th spot.
And there might be some sceptics out there that would have written the Dragons off at the beginning of the season, but they're putting up a good argument for themselves, as are Bradford, as are Hull.
As are all the teams. You certainly can't write off the likes of Coventry and Altrincham.
Very much so. I think the only ones that are sort of cementing their positions at the moment are the Senators and the Wild, but even then, that's still a 2-horse race that could go either way down to the post. As we get back to the action here at Deeside tonight, it's Austin. Plays that out for the Dragons. Finds Keating. Loses that in his skate for a second. Pushes that forward to Parsons on side. Parsons back to Keating. Has Furnival far over. Can't get it over in time. Pushed out by Ward. Ward onto Hackford. Hackford skates down straight into the chest of Armstrong. That's going to be an easy save.
Yeah, Hackford obviously fancied his chances there. You can see he's picked the speed up, but it's safely in the chest, nestled away of Armstrong.
So 6:46 gone in this first period. Face off to the right hand side of Jonah Armstrong. It's going to be Hagger, and it appears to be Parry in for the face off. No, Hagger's stepped out. Robinson's gone in for it. And it's a Dragons win as Lovell rings that round to his teammate Jones, who can't bring it in. And Hull with Foreman just try and push that forward. They have done. Bodies coming on from the Dragons. Puck again across the low crease there. Tight between the crease and the slot as they're pushing that puck around, but it's Wigglesworth breaks down the other end. Spence is able to clear it onto the stick though with Lovell. Lovell's got his head up. Found Parry. Parry pushes that in. Dragons on the attack. Foreman into his corner. Bared down on by Wigglesworth. Mistake means the Dragons pick the puck up. Quickly repossessed though by Hull. No, Dragons again. And now Jones tries to turn it around, find a man in front. Got Wigglesworth. Tries to take it round his man. Got between the defenders. Can Parry hook it out? No. Bowater's down on it, and that's a great bit of play there, both sides.
Yeah, it's handed on a plate to Parry there. It just trickled. Looked like nobody was going to go for there. He missed an opportunity, and chances like that are going to be few and far between. Dragons have got to get them in. But right now, Hull Jets are showing the dominance. See if the Dragons can get anything from this.
7:35 in this first period. Still anybody's game. Is shot out in front. There's Clancy looking for the redirect. But it's going to be straight into the glove there of Bowater. And we normally expect, Gary, within the first 10 minutes, one team to try and be out in the other as Chappell and Robinson go in for the face-off. But you expect them to try and start dominating the game and getting a grip of it. Right now, it's still very much either teams.
Yeah, it's both teams are looking to try and find the pace in that, but you kind of get the feeling the Dragons fancy their chances because of the short bench of the Jets. And you can see, I know that the Dragons are going to get physical because they're going to fancy trying to put a few of those players in the penalty box. But the Jets play clever hockey. They'll stay out of it and they'll keep their players on the ice.
Shot again, well the puck trickling right out in front of the paint. And it's the Jets that have taken it straight down the other end here. But you are right, Gary. We've said it so many times though, the Dragons could go with that game plan, but complacency is a killer if they think they've already won.
Well, they've got the numbers on the bench, that's for sure, but that's nothing to go by. The guys that are on the ice that count.
Well said as Hagger takes a cracking shot there, forces Armstrong to get his glove up. Got a rogue bit of equipment on the ice there as it's returned with its owner. And now Shaw. 1-2 in with Chappell. James Shaw trying to find that stretch pass to Clancy, can't knock it on. Quick line change for the Dragons as the Jets try and capitalise, go the other way. Hagger, he's onside, gets it in. It's great cut out play there by Wainwright.
Yeah, Matty Wainwright in the right place at the right time then.
Now, Dragons breaking up. Near side, Furnival couldn't cross the blue. Parsons had to come back. It's Furnival, it's through, shot! Great seal out there by Bowater.
Bowater held firm.
And now Keating, they've kept it onside of the Dragons, play still alive. Robinson's going to be back there though for the Jets. Wainwright tried to get up and keep that on, but they've managed to force it out of the zone. Now Dragons looking to go again. Keating dumps that back in. Robinson for the Jets, behind his own net. Pressure again coming from Furnival. Puck trickles out onto a Dragon stick, and it's going to be Austin back in receipt for the Dragons.
Quick line change by the Jets.
Austin finds Wainwright. Wainwright chips that forward. Krampasky can't take it on. It's gone the other way though. Forster looking for support. He's got a man over in. Oh, the 1-2 there. Well, he had the man over there in the captain, Ward. Tried to play it back to Forster.
And that's where the Jets are working it well, because they saw that the Dragons had gone with a high line there, caught the defence out, one man back, and it's 2-on-1, and luckily there for the Dragons, it didn't work out.
Shot comes in there as Bowater again seals that up. But Gary, that's exactly what we're on about there, complacency. They've got to be careful, it only takes one mistake. It's still a scoreless game, 10:25 gone in this first period. Who do you fancy to out-edge who first?
Well, right now, Bowater's keeping that Jets net, shall I say, bow watertight.
Oh,
See what I did there, Ben?
I
you
did,
see?
yeah, I did, yeah.
And but right now, it's only halfway through this first period, and he's already seen a little bit of pressure from the Dragons, but not as much as I expected.
It's a very good point. You'd expect more of an offensive unit with the Dragons, fancying trying to wear down this Hull Jets. Maybe bus legs will come into play later on, we don't know. As the Jets pinned in their own zone currently, trying to break out. And again, every time they're trying to clear that puck out, it's on straight onto a Dragon's stick, and all the Dragons are doing is putting that straight back in. As we're with Fothergill. But that's just going to be, little chirp there by Fothergill. And that's Ryan Jones of the Dragons. Jones going to the box.
Adding to his already
Is already
escalating. Well, it's not booming because he's one of the lower ones.
Yeah, that's very true. You did pull up a few of the old penalty monsters pre-game.
Maybe he wants to be one.
As a face-off that puts Hull back on the power play. And it's a hooking call on Jones. Now set up behind the Dragons net of the Jets, trying to get good rotation going. Loose puck jumped on though by the Dragons. Dumped straight down the other end of the ice. It's Shaw. Shaw's going to get there. Forced Bowater to turn it out. Chappell picks up the rebound.
Oh, well played,
into
Chappell.
the corner. And this is great offensive play on the power play. But the Dragons don't want to get caught short. Hull now in possession. Turn that straight back round. Up the other end with Beach. Beach drags it over on his skate. Lays it off for Robinson. Robinson at the point. Back into the middle. Tries to go 1-2.
Well
and Shaw
out.
spins on the down. Clears it on the stick.
Yeah, very well done there by Shaw.
Quick line change in from the Dragons. Keep those fresh legs on the ice. Definitely going to be battle of attrition, I think so, Gary, as we go late into this game. As we reach the 1 minute mark on the penalty and 12-minute mark in the game.
In the period, Ben.
Well, it's still, 12 minutes in the game only. As out in front, Jets there, trying to get that bobbling puck.
And you can tell the Jets fancy their chances already. They've had several attempts, not managed to get past Joan and Armstrong yet, but you can just see that they're waiting for those little mistakes to occur, and we know they do. The Dragons have been susceptible to the loose puck in front of the net, and they will capitalise. The Jets will stuff it away if they're not careful.
So face-off between Parsons and Forster, and it's won by the Dragons. Breaking up the ice with Furnival, skates it on, tried to take it around his man, has done. Got out, it's in! Simon Furnival with the solo goal!
Well, Furnival obviously fancies his chances there. Solo attempt right down the ice with the ons pursuing Jets players, and then cuts across, slots it right past the keeper, Bowater. Just as quick as we thought that they were under pressure, the Dragons have edged this in front. It's now Dragons 1, Hull Jets 0.
And the first blow coming from the Dragons with the short-handed opportunity. Well, will that knock the confidence of the Hull Jets?
I don't know, Ben. I think these guys, as few as there are, these are confident.
And Chris Jones currently talking with the officials there. Miss Andrews, Mr. Lambie, Mr. Jarvie's down there as well. Jarvie, head ref for tonight.
And Ward just making his way across there as well. To
whatever the discussion's over, Dragons back on the 4 men, 5 out for the power play unit of the Hull Jets as they break forward again. Simpson skates it into the corner. Great pressure coming from Mark Lovell. Lovell. Great ball placed, forcing 2 of the Jets over there. And the Dragons have managed to come out with that. Out in front of the net. Ooh, little nibble there. Final 15 seconds of this penalty. Shot straight in. Armstrong's up, and he's seen it twice.
And there you go. That's exactly what I was talking about.
And Morgan. Little chirps between Morgan there and looks like Hackford.
Well,
the officials straight in to calm that down.
The one thing you've got to be careful of here is getting another player off the ice already.
So, again, it's Hull still in the power play. Great opportunity on the face-off. And that's well worked by Jones, plays it round his man, he's got Forster in pursuit. Jones in the corner, takes the shot, forces Bowalter's glove. Robinson rings that round, back to 5 skaters for the Dragons. There's Jones again at the blue, parry, make sure he plays himself on. Bowalter, make sure that goes over. Wigglesworth around the other side. Keeps it in possession for the Dragons, tried to lay that back for parry. Unable to do so, and now Hagger pushes forward. He's got Hackford in the middle for the redirect. And that's a danger zone right there.
Yeah,
as those jets keep flying past.
Yeah.
See what I did there, Gary?
Nope.
And now trying to go back down the other way. It's Beach, he's onside. Lays it off for Hagger. Hagger still in possession. And it's cleared out by the Dragons. Shaw was offside there, forced to come back. Foreman pushes that forward for Beach. Beach, white wall round him, nowhere to go. Shaw's dug that out. Battle on the boards as we clear it back out centre ice. Hagger tries to go around his man, does so. Backhand, looks for the opportunity.
Oh, he missed
Beach
it.
was there, couldn't one time it.
Well, I had to put money on Beach putting that away. Oh, they've hit the metalwork already.
And now up the other end. It's pushed onside by Chappells. Gates into the corner. Tried to beat out Foreman. Foreman's held it up though. Support comes in from Robinson. And it's all tied up as Wainwright and Beach interject themselves now, but it's come out to Chappell at the point. Holds it, tries to put it through, right through the slot. No one there to get a stick on it for the Dragons. Shaw can't control it. Austin's played it offside, unfortunately. Much to the appeasement of Hagger. And, well, nice bit of back and forth with 14:52 in this first period gone.
Well,
the Dragons are slowly getting control in this game.
Unfortunately, the special effects in here tonight are causing a low fly zone for the Jets because they seem to have a mist.
Okay, enough of the Top Gun jokes now.
Okay. Cheers, Goose.
As we try and play that out. Wainwright into the corner. Tied up on the boards, big collision there. Bodies going in, and the Dragons already stepping up the physicality. That's Furnival. Oh! Tried to just squeeze it in, butter the biscuit up there, put it past the post of Armstrong. It's Parsons. It's gone through the legs of Simpson. Goes in solo, backhand. Bowalter. Yes, what a save.
Bowalter did an excellent job there.
Masterclass there of net minding. And now back the other way. Forster dumped the puck in. It's going to be Austin who picks that up. 5 skaters behind the puck for the Dragons. Push that forward to Wainwright. Wainwright dumps that in. Run round. Foreman's going to be on the far side to pick it up. Big body in from Parsons. Into the corner. Still fighting away. Keaton tries to dig it out. It's come back to Austin. Austin takes a shot in. It's up and out. Rebounds. All angles they dive in, the Dragons, but Bowalter pushes it out again.
Yeah, it looks like the Dragons are finding that highway into the danger zone there. And
Robinson trying to put the pressure on Wainwright. And it's going to be Foreman who skates that back. Foreman for the Hull Jets. Trying to push that forward, miscommunication.
Oh, and Morgan doing a victory roll there.
No, I believe that was Alex Parry.
Oh, Alex Parry.
It's with Jones. Jones tried to push it across the Wigglesworth. Foreman gets his stick in the way. Great defensive work.
They are trying everything there. They're putting so much pressure on this Jets defence now.
Jones finds a man out in front of his own boards, but it's played off the boards, picked up by the Jets who now skate that on. Man's brought down there. That's
penalty.
Yeah, and Gieber brought down there.
And it looks like, is that Jones, was it?
So we'll find out. Yeah, is that Ryan Jones again? No, Chris Jones.
Yeah, Chris Jones. He likes that box, doesn't he?
So once again, Chris Jones finds himself in the box.
And he's shaking his head there, but clearly not happy.
And again, the Hull Jets granted another 2 minutes in advantage. Can they actually make something of it now? This will be their 3rd power play opportunity.
Well, you certainly don't want to be handing them these opportunities. And
Beach takes a shot, it's off the metalwork again.
As I say, they take a shot like that.
Redirect Hagger, tried to play it out. Great play from the Jets. And trying to exploit the gaps here that the Dragons are giving them.
Yeah,
doing well to do so, but they just can't quite finish. And it's cleared out the zone by the Dragons there. As Gieber and Shaw are in a foot race now. Clarification on the penalty there on Jones. It is a tripping call. So Chris Jones in the box for a trip. 1:20 left on the penalty. 17:30 gone in this first period. Dragons still ahead by that one goal. Simpson picks that out the air. Lays that off for Robinson, gets it back. Furnival doing a little pinball. Simpson backhands it to Hagger, one-timer. Armstrong saw that all day, gets down. And both netminders having a brilliant first period as Parsons got support and Furnival couldn't reel it in. And it's gone back down the other way in Simpson. He's found Beach. Beach is on. Can he get round Austin? Does so. Gets his head up, supporting Hagger. Can't get it across the slot. Hagger puts it back though. Armstrong sealed his post out. And it's great play there by the Dragons, although the Jets have kept it alive. Again, Hagger feeds it back behind the net. Hull trying to set something deadly up.
And Gavin Austin's getting pushed about in that blue paint area.
And the penalty. Reeled in, laid off, just picked out the air there by Armstrong.
Oh yeah, and Hagger was there just waiting to
Hagger and
tap
Wainwright.
that back. Yeah, referee's putting a stop to that now. Well, Hagger was just there at the corner post, put his stick up in the air, ready to deflect that down. But Armstrong was clever and caught it.
Yeah, Rich Hagger causing a lot of trouble in the paint at the moment for the Dragons. Definitely going to need to keep him quiet if they want to get anything out this game. As Austin's received the face-off win there for the Dragons, he's just going to skate up and dump it on net there. 3 seconds remain in this penalty. 2-1, back to full strength. Jones back on the ice. Wigglesworth behind the net of the Jets though. And now the Dragons immediately on the offence as they're out with Parry. Parry lays it off for Jones. First Hutchins coming back on the ice. Tries to get round Spence. They found Hackford. Jets breaking forward. Hackford needs to get round Wainwright. Uses Wainwright as a shield and gets the shot off, but it's gone wide. And now the Jets again, unable to do anything. Wainwright found Wigglesworth. Can't get around his man. It's great defensive play there from Foreman. Just put his body in between himself at the man and the puck.
Yeah, he's complaining now. He's looking to the official for a
Robinson
penalty.
takes the shot and it's straight into the chest of Armstrong.
Yeah, Foreman looking to the official for a penalty. Dave's trying to say that Wigglesworth had raised his stick up into his face, but I think it was a bit of tit for tat there, really.
And the officials tonight, Lamley, Jarvie and Andrews, so far keeping a pretty smooth flowing game.
And Hagger having a quiet word there with the official.
19:38 in this first period gone, literally into the final 30 seconds. And you can see Rich Hagger there just talking with the official. So, face-off is won by the Dragons. Lovell tried to push it off for Clancy.
It's
Robinson
it's
there.
getting a little physical.
And again, that looked like that's going to be a hooking call on Lovell. You can see it there. There's the signal from the official. So with 15 seconds remaining in this first period, the Dragons hand another power play opportunity to the Hull Jets.
Well, this is what they don't need to be doing, but as you say, they've only got 15 seconds remaining. Hopefully they can ride this out. Or can the Jets capitalise and try and draw one back?
Face-off is won by the Jets, crucially. Ward lays it off for Robinson. Robinson, time to get his head up. Gieber gets a shot, looking for the redirect, was Hagger. 3, 2, 1, there's your buzzer. Well, with 1:45 on the power play, the Hull Jets are going to start with a man advantage on the second period.
Well, interesting period to say the least. But you got to say, Dragons have done well to take this 1-goal lead into the break. And with that, we're going to have a quick word from our sponsors.
Dunarmus Sportswear. Sponsors have dropped the puck. Dunarmus Sportswear. Sponsors have dropped the puck.
Welcome back after that break from our sponsors. And yes, this is the second period. No, you are counting right. There is only 4 players on the ice for the Dragons because they are starting on the penalty kill.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that they think they're that good.
As we get this action underway, it's immediately Hull Jets in possession of the puck. 1 minute 30 remain on the power play opportunity. They call a hook on Mark Lovell just before the buzzer went in the first period. And it's going to be interesting to find out what's been said in the locker rooms. Oh, early opportunity for the Jets, and the net's off its moorings there. So it's going to be interesting to see what's been said in the locker room between the period break there, Gary. Can you imagine what Gary Shaw said to the Dragons?
Well, he's probably said, just be careful with that high line there because you're getting caught out. And we know it's been a problem with them before. Gary's mentioned it in previous interviews.
As it's puck won by the Jets. And disco hockey finishes. As we break forward with Furnival. Furnival's got Parsons in support. Looks to get over, he's done it! Parsons, Bellwater goes post to post. Denies Parsons early on with another short-handed opportunity. And straight back up the other way with Beach. Lays that off. Shot comes in. No, it's softly put in, looking for the redirect. It's off the back of Armstrong. He's got away with that one as Hagger's jumped back on it though. Trying to find Hagger out in front. High slot shot from Robinson. Deflected out. Furnival's cleared it away.
Well, they've certainly worked on a few things there. They know what they're doing. They've got a game plan for this second period by the look of it.
Beach pushes it through for Robinson. Takes a shot, goes wide. And Armstrong seeing a lot of rubber early on in this second period. Parsons clears it over Gieber.
Gieber didn't know where it was then.
Robinson back in possession, finds Simpson. Simpson looks up, finds Beach in the middle. Hagger just onside there. Gieber takes a shot. Armstrong's down with the leg pad. And again, they tried to put that puck back in the centre. Dragons are back to full strength as the penalty expires. Lovell back on the ice for the second period. And now Hagger into the corner. Great pressure coming from Wainwright. Gieber knocks that around. Lovell finds Beach behind the Dragons' net. Great pressure coming from Austin. Robinson for the Jets. Tries to find Gieber in the slot, can't. Puck's finally pushed out the zone, and Dragons find their way out the danger zone.
Yeah, Jay Robinson's a tall guy. He reminds me of it's like a Kemp stature.
Now the Dragons going back the other way. Push it with Jones into the corner, and that's going to be an offside there as the disco lights hit the ice once more. So Gary, Andrew Ward, captain of the Hull Jets, has certainly done something in the locker room between the period break there. As you can see, they're coming out firing.
Yeah, they're looking to set the players parked right in front of the net there, and they're looking to feed it back every time. Going back to that byline, feed it back in, and you see it there on the blue paint area. Well, as a player hits the ice.
And we've got a penalty coming up shortly. Bowater bursts his way to the bench, and that's 6 skaters on. Dragons desperately trying to touch it up, and they do so there. And is that Chris Jones it's on? It is. They're just waiting to reel him in, as I think he's just aiding one of his teammates off the player there. That's Lovell.
Yeah, Lovell looks to have
taking a knock of some
taking a knock on his back. He looks gingerly off the ice there. And no.
So, Jets back on the power play opportunity. No clarification on what the call is yet. Foreman pushes that out on the front. Armstrong does well to save it.
Yeah, and then already Dragons making their way down the ice.
Well, it's Ryan Jones currently sat in the box for the Dragons.
Oh, you got the Jones bit right.
Dragons number 18, Ryan Jones, it's 2 minute penalty for Buffett.
And it's a hook call on Ryan Jones there.
Oh.
As Armstrong gets his blade on that and takes out shots at one time. And he's jumped from post to post to seal that out. Great save by Armstrong.
Yeah, Armstrong, a lot being asked of him so far in this early part of this second period. And you've got to wonder, is it going to be much more of the Jets showing their dominance now?
Face off. Won by the Dragons. Use the board to try and clear that out. Do so. Gieber chasing that down into his own zone. Forecheck coming from Wigglesworth. Oh, it's a loose puck. Jumped on by Shaw. Shaw's putting that back round. Can Wigglesworth get there? Great little battle between himself and Gieber. Beach tried to get hold of that, but Gosling just intersected himself there. Again, dumped into the corner by Shaw. 50 seconds left on this power play now for the Dragons. Fine Beach. Big stretch pass gives Beach a little bit of ice. Lays it off one-timer from Hager again. And Armstrong's just going to seal that up. Rich Hager has been taking pot shots, Gary, from outside the slot all night. He's dangerous man on the puck.
Well, the thing is, they obviously fancy their chances of doing this, and they think they've seen a weak point in the Dragons' armour, but I don't know. The defence seems to be holding firm at the moment, but how long it'll last,
Face off, won by the Dragons in their own zone, immediately clear that out. Bo Waters out of his net just to reel that in for his teammate. And now Robinson pushes forward. Knocked on there. The Dragons to pick back up. And the Dragons again get a stick on that and clear it out in their own zone. Gieber once again back for his team. Uses the boards, pushes that over for Ward. Ward uses the boards to ring it round. Tries to find Hackford far side. Does so. Hackford looking for support. Gieber's there, but the puck's popped out the other way. Shot one-timer! And Hager again. Dragons go back to the 5 skaters. Is forced to set Hager up there for a cracking backdoor opportunity. And Armstrong's denied him once again. 5:14 gone in this second period even. And I think Armstrong's seen more rubber in this period already than they had the entire first.
Yeah, it's like I said earlier, Jets have come out with some sort of a game plan. I don't know whether it was just they were just feeling the Dragons out in that first period, but they're lucky to be only 1 score down. But now in the second period, the Dragons are lucky to still be 1 up.
Face off won by the Jets, crucially in the Dragon zone. Pushed out though to clear the blue. Robinson turns that back in for Beach. He pushes it on for Hager. Hager straight back across. Shot comes in. And the Dragons breathe a sigh of relief as they go down the other end with Furnival. Furnival takes it in himself, tries to shoot between the legs of Simpson. And Hager finds Beach. It's a one-on-one. Hager and Lovell. Can he get round him?
Oh, Beach trying too much there.
Lovell read him well. Oh, big hit there from Robinson on Furnival. But Parsons still in possession for the Dragons. Looks to go in himself. Oh, Hager gets the rebound. Krompaski gets over, forces the puck the other way. Now the Dragons using the boards to play back in deep into the Jet zone. Furnival getting a little bit roughed up out there as Jones takes a shot. Straight into the leg pads there of Bowater.
It looks like a player lost his stick there.
But you can already see, Gary, Furnival getting little chirped at, little nudges and bumps, trying to push those red buttons, draw the penalty monsters out. Yeah. Furnival already with 63 minutes to his name this season.
I think they've got to be disciplined in this period. They can't afford penalties. Otherwise, they're going to open the door for the Jets. Let them in.
Lovell cleverly uses the boards, plays it around for Furnival. Furnival finds Krompaski. Krompaski bursts through, far side. Tries to get it across, and he does so. Well, there's not a Dragon there. That was great play by Sam Krompaski. And now Lovell fending off attack from the Jets. Oh, and the former Hackford as a body comes flying in there. And the physicality certainly has stepped up as Krimpaski's back down the other way. Solo effort at the moment. Finds man in the middle in the former Furnival who's going in.
Oh, and here we go.
Has he run the 10D? Did he think so?
It's getting a little bit easy. We knew it would
Parsons is standing over his man, quite rightly. Forster and Foreman are there. Parsons just losing his footing.
Yeah, you can see Parsons laughing, but I think everybody's just sort of calming it down a bit. The official's doing really, really well.
And sportingly there, Furnival just shaking the hand of Bowater, making sure he's all right.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's going the box.
Well, there we go.
Well, he's going for the box of interference of the netminder.
Yes. The official giving the signal there. And there you go, Si. Sit down. Would you like a cuppa?
So another Dragon takes a seat in the box. That's their 6th penalty tonight so far. 6 opportunities for the Hull Jets to do something.
Deeside Dragons, number 23.
Beach gets it at the point, feeds that in. With Hackford. Great poke check there from Austin. Foreman, great pressure coming in from the Dragons, and Austin gets his stick all over that and puts it down the other end of the ice. 7:30 gone in the second period. Still 1-0 Deeside Dragons. Hager takes it round Austin. Looking for support in the middle. No, takes it around the back of the net. Net crowded out with Beach! And it's Kieran Beach! Well!
Said it was coming. They've been pounding and knocking on that door time and time again. And with a player off the ice for the Dragons, desperately trying to defend that goal. And Beach has found a way through, sitting right in front of the net. Manages to slam that past Armstrong. And it's now Dragons 1, Jets 1.
Well, we knew it was coming. You could see Hager was causing no end of trouble for the Dragons. And he finds Beach in a lovely bit of space. So 1 out of 6 power play opportunities gone in favour of the Jets. Now as a shot comes in from Jones from the face-off there. And now the Jets trying to clear out the zone. Wigglesworth with a shot. Can he follow it up? He's back on the puck, puts it back across again. And it's great response coming in from the Dragons, straight back down the other end. Parry trying to fight Robinson for the puck. It's back out in front again one more time, trying to find Chris Jones. At the point with Banks, Banks puts it back in one more time. Bowater, sick of the sight of the puck already. Back out in front one more time. And that paint's got a bit of a party going on at the moment. Dragon shirt in and out as Hager breaks.
It's 3 on 2.
Morgan. Shot comes in.
Oh, it's
and there's a redirect. And it's Rich Hager.
Well, we said it was coming, and we said you can't write this team off. Doesn't matter how many they bring with them. That little back pass there, and Hager was situated right up front to stick it away for the Jets. You've got to say to yourself, 3 on 2. I fancied the Jets to do it then. Nice little bit of passing. And they've taken the lead here at the Deeside Dragons. And now down by a goal. Dragons 1, Jets 2.
Jarvie drops the puck and we get this action back underway. Dare I say, Gary, complacency. We've said it before. And the assist coming from Kieran Beach for the Hager goal as well. So the favour returned. And that line so far of Hager and Beach causing no end of trouble as Ward takes a shot with the bottle popper. And immediately the Dragons, still reeling from that sucker punch of the Hager goal, get knocked down even further.
This is what you guys said they had a game plan. They certainly have. Already, the Dragons find themselves 2 goals behind. And we're already in, 9 minutes gone in this second period.
So 2 goals within the space of a minute and a half. The Dragons need to have a word and find out what's gone on with the ranks here. because this is not the Dragons team we saw in the first period. So, Dragons now down by 2. Waiting for the puck to drop, and we do so immediately. It's another Dragons win. Pressure coming straight on again. This time, great forward check pressure from Kieran Robinson. Hackford claims the assist there on the Ward goal. But it's Geber gets in and forces Armstrong to make a save with the stick. Great pass over Parsons. Read like a book by Geber and picked off, but he can only lay it forward. Austin intercepts that. Back up the other end. We've got an end-to-end game now as the Jets try and slow this down into their own pace. Wainwright for the Dragons. Lays the boards off, goes 1-2. Parsons knocks it onside. Keating far side, can't get there. Simpson does though. And Simpson, there's going to be a call. The official's arms up, I've got a feeling. It's on the Dragons.
Oh.
And Keating is he's looking confused. Are they calling him for a trip? Because it looked like Simpson went down under his own accord.
Well,
and it's a hooking call on him. So Christopher Keating of the Dragons sits 2.
he doesn't look happy at all there.
And this is going to be detrimental as once again, big shot in from Geber. The Jets find themselves on the power play. Well, right now, the Jets don't need to be gifted any opportunities. They're making them themselves. So once again, this power play unit of the Dragons, or the penalty kill unit I should say, is out. Is this a game plan, Gary? Get the special teams out on the ice. Don't allow them changes. And Jones and Hagger are tussling here off camera.
Yeah, it's Dragons have just got to keep their composure a bit here. They've really got to be careful, because already the Jets know that they're a volatile team. They've got plenty of red buttons, those penalty monsters, as we pointed out at the start of the show.
And it looks like they've locked in and trying to mash away at them red buttons at the moment. As the hits, the hook, the toil and tussles coming in even further. Shot in again. Armstrong's down, cleared away. Something going on between Robinson and Chris Jones that time. A minute left in the penalty, 11:05 gone in the second. Again, onside with Hackford. Oh no, sorry, Beach. Beach takes a shot. It's off the post. Warning signs again. Hagger couldn't find the rebound. It's knocked clear of the zone by the Dragons there with Ryan Jones. And now 40 seconds remain on the power play.
Yeah, they've really got to be careful here, because things are starting to look like they're going to put another one in the net.
Beach and Hagger, great cut out there by Wigglesworth, but they've got it back. In it goes Geber with the shot. And Armstrong has to reach out for that and reel it back in. Well, 17 seconds left, and it's been a good pressured opportunity for the Jets, but they've not been able to capitalise so far. Geber though, tried to find Forster, puts it over instead. In the middle, shot in, and there it is from Robinson.
Well, can't say it hasn't been coming. They've put that pressure on, constantly turning the screws, and caught the Dragons on the back heel. And now they've extended the lead here at the Den. It's now Dragons 1, Hull Jets 4.
Well, Gary, 2 power play opportunities out of the 7 they've been gifted. And it's a timeout called by the Dragons. Gary Shaw, I'm certainly going to be reading the riot act out there now. So's James Parsons and Mark Lovell. As you can see on the opposite side, the Hull Jets, they seem to be very calm. You can see the coach there barking the orders. Bo Water seems quite relaxed.
Yeah, everybody seems really relaxed, and Bo Water chatting to one of the coaches there.
So
yeah, they look a happy team, considering.
Yeah, they almost look fresh as daisies, Gary. It looks like the Dragons haven't run into that tank much yet.
Well, I said that they've had a couple of weeks off, and they come off the back of 2 tough games against the Widnes Wild.
Face off. He's dropped and pushed straight into the Jet zone. Forster tries to get it round, but it's only onto Wainwright. Wainwright manages to get it onside. Great play there from the Jets, but Dragons managed to keep it in. Ward pushes that out. Krimpaski keeps it in. Parsons can't get behind the net. And now the Jets looking to play this puck out. Do so. Ward skates it through and pushes it onside. Forster's going to try and skate down on it, but it's going to be picked up by Wainwright. Puck just loose there. Hackford jumps on the opportunity. Great body there from Austin. And now the Dragons back in possession as Krimpaski's shut off by Spence. Cries for an interference call. Doesn't come. It's a 2-on-1 situation the other way. Feeds it over. Beat shoots.
Oh, well saved.
And Armstrong does well to keep them in this.
That looked a certain goal then.
Parsons on the puck. Finds Krimpaski. Pushes it forward. Tries to go around Foreman. That's going to be an offside call there. Parsons tried to hold off as much as he could there. And the Dragons, looking all 6s and 7s at the moment, need to get some composure under them, while the Jets seem to be running rings around them.
Well, this has been the thing about the Dragons this season. They've seemed like they've got control of everything, but teams come in and make them play their game, and the Jets have certainly done that in this second period.
Parry goes in for the face-off of the Dragons, but it's won by the Jets. Geber looks to push the puck round. Jets clear the zone. Foot race. Morgan's back. Fothergill chasing down. But it's picked up by Jones. Banks with Jones again. Finds Parry. Parry tries to push over Wigglesworth. Immediately jumped on by Kieran Robinson though. Morgan back for the Dragons. Finds Chris Jones at his own blue. Tries to knock it forward. Parry's going to have to chase that down. Simpson's there though to pick it up. Wigglesworth puts a body on, and Wigglesworth taking a bad knock there as he put the body on Simpson. Yeah. He bounced off, and it looks like he's made contact with his head on the edge of the boards. Well, we hope he gets up soon.
He's not moving at all. We can see him breathing, so he's obviously breathing, but just a precaution at the moment. One of the staff for the Dragons has come onto the ice just to check him over, and the concerned players are gathering around him. But at this point, you've got to ask yourself, are we going to see a more physical game from the Dragons?
Well, you can see he's getting onto his feet there. That's a great sign. Oh, that looks like a bad bruise. You can see it there already over the left eye of Wigglesworth. As he skates back the bench, I think the players and the fans be pleased to see that, because that looked nasty.
Is he going to be all right though? The thing is, he may be asked to go in.
Yeah, there he goes. He's going to make his way to the locker room. Quite rightly so, as the medics check him out. As with most sports, any injury to the head.
Oh, and he's not a happy
bunny. The frustration of having to leave the game. So, will this have repercussion? We're waiting to see the result. The officials have come over to the timekeeper's bench. And now we're just waiting the restart of the action here, but it looks like we've got some blood on the ice. So, as with the rules, no play can continue until that's cleaned up. Obviously, safety paramount here to the players and spectators. But Gary, so far it's a 4-goal period to the Hull Jets. What have the Dragons got to do to get themselves back in this game now?
Well, first of all, they've got to keep all the players on the ice. Without a doubt, being 2 men down, especially when they're getting caught up high. The Jets defense, the Jets are attacking forwards, are coming, cutting right behind that defense, and they're just peppering that goal with pucks. But the thing is, it's the discipline. The Dragons have got to try and stop getting into these little niggles, concentrate on playing, get their tape-to-tape passing, a bit more precise and put some more pressure. While the puck's up at your end, you're not putting your opponents under any pressure. And the likelihood is you make a slip up, they're going to jump on it and put it into your net. Dragons have got to try and do something quick here, get back into this game before the end of this second period. They've got just under 7 minutes remaining, where they've got to try and claw back at least 1 or 2 goals to try and stay in this race. But right now, the Jets have got a good 3-goal lead on them, good control. And
Well,
dare I say it, Ben, the Jets are looking great value for money.
Well, going into this game, you would have fancied the Dragons in the home barn with the man advantage, but as it currently stands, it's the Jets that are dictating the game here in the second period. And we're going to get play back underway. There's going to be face-off, neutral ice. Chappell and Robinson go in. It's won immediately by the Jets. Gieber goes D-to-D with Simpson. Pushes that puck into the zone. Dragons behind their own net. Can't dawdle too much as there's cracking forecheck pressure coming from Hager. He's right up in the grill the minute they're there coming out from behind that net. Trying to force the mistakes. All men on side of the officials there wave that. And again, Beach jumps on the loose puck. Tried to put it across, but Lovell gets in the way. Back to Beach in the corner from Hager. Robinson trying to get round Chappell. Does so. He's pushed it out again for Hager, who pushes that back around the boards one more time.
Oh, you can't do that.
And Dragons jump on the loose puck and turn down the other way. Shaw lays that off for Chappell. Chappell takes the shot straight to the chest of Bowater.
And the officials
Well, did he spill it up? Is that why James Shaw went for it? But it doesn't matter, because guess what, Gary? Shaw's go in the box.
Shaw is going to ask the official there what the penalty was. Yeah, and the official's just explaining to him there.
Is he? Or have they just got him off with a warning? No, he's just been given a warning. He's escaped that one, to be fair.
Well, they can't afford to be another man down.
So, still 5 on 5. And Wigglesworth's just made his way back onto the bench, which is great to see. He'll be returning to the action at some point as the Jets push that immediately down into the Dragon zone. Wainwright passes that forward. And again, Krimpaski in a foot race with Foreman. Foreman gets there first. Ward intercepted there by Wainwright. Finds teammate Austin. Again, it's dumped in. Chased in there by Parsons. Wainwright keeps it alive. Pushes it forward one more time.
Whoa.
Parsons out in front of the paint. Can't get it out from between his skates. Krimpaski into the corner. Finds Parsons behind the net. Tries to bring it through. It's come all the way through to a defensiveman. And that was Hackford. And now Ward. Austin gets it sticking away. Foreman sees the opportunity. Comes in with a one-timer. Foreman.
Dragons have got a few heads on a swivel here. They've got to keep an eye out. The puck seems to be flying loose everywhere. And every time it's loose, there's a Jets player right on it.
Now the Dragons desperately trying to clear it out the zone. Do so. Krimpaski and Foreman use the boards. Wainwright tries to get through Beach. Does so. It's Matt Wainwright still.
Oh.
Great poke check there from Simpson.
Oh.
As Hager's down on the ice. Austin's skating the other direction, so could be a loss of edge. Quick line change going in there for the Jets as Chris Jones of the Dragons into the corner. Fights Simpson off of that puck. Still going. He's laid it around the back of the net. Puck's ringed all the way round. Banks will be the first man over. Finds Morgan. Morgan trying to push that onside. Simpson just steps up and makes sure it doesn't get over. And back with Gieber of the Jets. Gieber D with Simpson. Using the boards, tries to clear it out. Hager. Skates forward. Will he go? Slot pass, puck's come loose.
Oh,
Robinson's in, they've pushed it in.
how did that go in?
And they've given the goal. Oh! And there's a big, wow, it's gone in, Robinson and Wigglesworth. Well, Wigglesworth wanting retribution for the hit earlier. Robinson's there, he statures over Wigglesworth, but he's not down and out yet. Wigglesworth still giving it large. He's got the better of him here, Robinson. Still firing shots, but it's Robinson that goes down first. Well, you could see sparks were going. I don't think this will be the last of it, Gary. I think this is just the start.
Well, something was brewing there. Robinson towers over Wigglesworth, but Wigglesworth is not getting away with it. He's already cut his eye, and with that, he's been sent to the box.
Well, Wigglesworth looks like he's here for the boxing. Robinson made a good match of it.
And the official just chatting to Ward, captain of the Jets. Wainwright's getting in as well, but in all that flurry, you can see that the one of the officials, Wainwright's been sent to the...
Wigglesworth.
Wigglesworth's been sent to the dressing room.
That'll be because will it be to get the cut treated, or has he been ejected from the game?
Well, I was going to say, one of the officials, if you look at the replay, you can see Andrews, the female official, coming in to break up the fight, and she hits the floor. Whether or not, I can't see clearly on that replay, whether or not the official gets hit or whether she just gets in the way. But either way, it would appear...
Well, Wigglesworth could be going for instigation here. We know the new rules, it's a 10-minute penalty for instigation. And on Robinson...
We have some ring staff down to the ice, please.
Again, we've got blood on the ice. It's got to be cleaned. Robinson's getting reunited with his gear. You can see Parry, Wainwright there speaking with the officials. And Ward is over there as well, the captain for the Jets. So we'll await the official decision in a minute. But you can imagine both Wigglesworth and Robinson are getting something each.
The official's looking for somebody.
You can see Robinson there. Wigglesworth's caught him with a good few, but Robinson managed to open that cut back up of Wigglesworth's.
Jarvy's looking for somebody on the Dragons bench as he scoured along. It was like an identity parade then. He's looking for a particular player, and obviously he can't pinpoint who it is. And most certainly, he's probably saying to the Dragons, looks like Lovell, something. He's probably saying, which one of you was it? And everybody's going, not me, sir.
Well, the officials are certainly going to want to get a hold of this game, because if that little bout was anything to go by...
Chris Jones, I'm number 72, mate, it's not me.
And
it looks like Chris Jones. Oh my goodness.
And the offender has been circled out once more. Well, could that be for the nibbles afterwards? We did see it. So Chris Jones returns to the box once more.
Well, interestingly enough, the officials are still talking to Gary Shaw there. And as he makes his way across, yeah, he's going to make a statement on what the penalty is.
So we can see there the timekeeper's bench making sure they're recording everything correctly. And now the staff here at the Deeside Leisure Centre just cleaning off the blood off the ice. You can imagine, judging by the cut on Wigglesworth's upper left eye, there's going to be a little bit.
Well, more to the point, the scoreboard's still reading 4-1. We've got a goal supposedly scored.
Yeah, still awaiting as well confirmation on who the goal scorer was. Bit of a ruckus out in front of that net.
Yeah, I'm sure that we'll try and find out any moment now.
As Jarvie skates over to the Jets bench there.
I don't think he's ordered tea or coffee because he's...
So we'll find out shortly.
Whatever it is, they find it amusing, but the point being that...
Well, Gary, did we not say late on in our first period and early at the beginning of this period that they were going to push the red buttons of the Dragons, lure them out? Is that not exactly what's happened?
They have, and dare I say it, I mean, one of the players... Oh, this looks like a Hull player going to the... No, so I thought Ward, the captain, was going into a box then, but he's just calling the captains over and letting them know.
So, official confirmation will come shortly. As Mr. Jarvie there just continuing to speak to the timekeeper's bench.
But as I was about to say, we know Wigglesworth wears his heart on his sleeve and he'll fight for his team. But
Chris Jones going to the locker room at the moment. So, has Chris Jones been asked to leave the game, or is he simply... Oh no, you can see Wigglesworth there as well.
Wigglesworth's got his kit off. And Jones.
Have both of those players gone? If so, then the Jets are slowly evening up the sides. Oh no, Jones returning back to the ice by the look of it. I think he's just returning equipment to Wigglesworth. Yep. And the goal stands. So the goal accredited to Robinson. So Wigglesworth gets a 4-minute fighting penalty. Right. So if you're with me on this one, Gary, stay with me.
All right, let me get my calculator out.
It's a 2+2 for Jeff Wigglesworth for fighting.
Yeah.
It's a 2+2 for Jay Robinson and the Hull Jets for fighting. And it's a 2+10 for Chris Jones, game misconduct. Chris Jones will not be returning to the ice tonight.
Well, that's a loss for the Dragons, but you've got to admit he has spent a few times in the penalty box already in this game.
So, we've got ourselves some 5-on-4 hockey at the moment. Oh no, 5-on-5, sorry, there are 5. They're just all over the show. But 5-on-5 hockey.
The thing is, Ben, with just under 2 minutes remaining, or just over 2 minutes remaining in this game, in this period, the Dragons have had 5 unanswered points scored on them.
Now, Wigglesworth has gone to the locker room, we know that. Whether he will be returning, it's unknown. Robinson still sits in the bench though, the penalty box, as Shaw with a one-timer miss. Still sits in the penalty box for the Jets, so he will come back onto the game. Shot again from Shaw! Oh. Well, the Dragons fired up now, but is it too little, too late? Is that going to be a tripping call? The official's arms up. It is a trip. Who's it going on? As one of the Hull Jets players is down, and that's going on Chappell. So Andy Chappell of the Dragons
adds to his 34 minutes of penalties so far this season.
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12 penalties tonight alone to the Deeside Dragons. That's 12 power play opportunities that the Hull Jets have had. They've already scored 5 goals this period, of which 2 are on the power play, 3 are from even play. Right now, I think it's fair to say, unfortunately, that the Dragons are self-destructing.
Just a little, but if they can get some composure and get a goal back.
As Hackford's on the ice, and it's up the other end immediately. Parsons tries to find Furnival in the middle. Cut out there by Forster. Straight back up the other end. Lovell.
They've just got to play hockey. That's all they've got to do.
Uses the boards to clear that out. He's managed to find Parsons.
Oh.
Lays it off for Furnival. Furnival shoots. Bowater's down, saves it. Second bite of the cherry. It's gone wide. This is great penalty killing from the Dragons. Best form of defence is a good offence.
Oh, and two of the Dragons there are down on the ice.
Miscommunications, they're both tied up. Lovell, a solitary man back. It could be a 3-on-1, but no, Dragons back. Hackford! Armstrong does well to keep a minute there. Well, this could easily get out of hand as bodies flying in now, left, right and centre. Minute of that penalty's gone already. Beach pushes it all the way over for Foreman. Foreman gets his head up. Cut out the play there by Ryan Jones as parry for the Dragons. Pushes it back the other way. Furnival having a little nibble there at Hager as we're into the final 5 seconds, or final 10 seconds, sorry, of this period. There's still 30 seconds of penalty remain. Another Dragons player goes down. It's cleared out there. That's going to be the buzzer. That's going to be the period. That's 5 goals for the Hull Jets. That's a turnaround.
Certainly is. What a complete difference. Chalk and cheese, and the ice is certainly tilted drastically in favour of the Jets in this period. But as both teams go down the tunnel asking questions of the Dragons, yeah, they're all, you can see there's a little bit of pushing and shoving going on there already in the tunnel. Referees are making sure, Bowater's saying a few things, people being pushed back, but it's, yeah, the referees just making sure that everybody stays away. Without further ado, I think it's time for us to take a short break and join us after this quick message from our sponsors.
Dunarmus Sportswear, sponsors of Drop the Puck.
Well, we get ready to rejoin the action here in the third period, and Gary, I genuinely think my space on the paper and the ink of my pen will run out before the Dragons go into the penalty box does.
Well, hopefully Gary Shaw's had a word with them and tried to tell them to sort of curtail what's going on. Just play, they just basically need to play ice hockey really, and stop getting into these little tit for tats. The Jets can afford to draw them into it, but the Dragons can't afford to get the Dragons can't afford to get drawn into any more battles.
So 25 seconds remain on the penalty in favour of the Hull Jets. It's a 5-on-4 situation, and like we said in the break there, Wigglesworth and Jones will both return to the ice as the puck drops, and immediately Simpson pushes that forward for Hager. Beach skates it on, tries to get round his man into the corner. You can see now Jones is actually in the penalty box. Shot in! It's between the legs of Armstrong. And he's managed to keep it out. That's a very lucky save. You see in the replay there.
Yeah,
gets a shot off and it just bobbles down between his legs.
Yeah, saved it, but that would have been embarrassing for the Dragons straight away in the start of the third. So we've gone a goal down already.
And the clock on that penalty expires as Robinson and Chappell, are back on the ice. So it's Chappell initially back. Another 2 minutes yet before Wigglesworth and Robinson are able to back on the ice. Furnival lays that over. It's pushed out for Austin.
Dare I say it, Ben, that the Jets haven't missed Robinson being off the ice.
Parsons tries to lay the body on Simpson. You could say that, Gary, yeah. But they've only been on the power play for a short period of time, so.
But even though they're short benched.
Yeah, you can't really tell that. We did say that at the beginning of the show. And it's Harry, skates it on, tries to lay that off to Furnival. Wainwright forces his man round. Short, the near side boards, takes his time, tries to pick a pass. Great pressure from Hackford, forces the turnover. Ward can't get there as Lovell comes off his bench and gets that. Hackford just loses his edge, gives him a couple of seconds. Parry into the Dragons corner. Back over the other side. Shaw finds Lovell. Lovell skates it round his man Simpson. Puts it in the paint, shot in from Bowater's down. He's got that and in. Well, let me get my words out, but the initial shot coming from Mark Lovell there. Bowater knocks it out. Shaw gets on the rebound, straight into his chest.
Yeah, it looks like an opportunity missed there. It was good play by Lovell, but they're going to need to do more than this.
Play gets back underway. Shaw in possession for the Dragons. Great cut off there. And Hagger feeds Beach. Beach solely up there by himself. 4 men around. Decides to take the shot anyway. It's into the blade of Mark Lovell's skates, and the Dragons turn and go again. Chappell tried to play it to Clancy. He's knocked it back for Hagger. Lovell puts that back on. Lovell and Robinson's back on the ice. So penalties on Wigglesworth and Robinson expired. And now Foreman with Hagger. Back to Foreman. Pushes that forward for Robinson, who knocks it on. Dragons in their own zone. Forecheck coming from Beach. Great pressure applied by the Jets. They've come away with it. Beach tried to go across the paint, but Banks was there. And now, again, Dragons. Oh, shot comes in from Hagger. Oh, Dragons played it out to Hagger, and Hagger takes that one-timer.
Yeah, it just gets stuck under Armstrong's leg pad there. Luckily, it didn't trickle through. But again, they're putting the pressure on.
Face off. Won by the Jets, but the Dragons push out of the zone. Furnival gets round Simpson. A little bit of a call there for interference. The officials don't think so. Simpson goes D to D with his teammate. Gets the puck back. Hackford. Furnival with the forecheck. Hulk off the puck up. Parsons jumps on it. It's going to be with Morgan. Morgan uses his net to create space. Trying to go around his man is Krimpaski. Takes it on. Krimpaski into the corner. Parsons back out in front. Oh, looking for the redirect and it wasn't there. Furnival bodies his man off the puck. Krimpaski gets it back. Parsons still, but it's going to be picked up by Gieber.
Yeah, it's just too far away for him to do anything there.
And Armstrong turns that back up the other way. Morgan. It's behind the Jets net. Parry lays the body on there. Well, official jumping for joy. Or avoiding the puck, not too sure, as Furnival skates down on Fothergill. Oh, Armstrong has forced that puck and there's going to be a call. And that looks to be on Furnival. And is that a hooking call?
No. Is it? I thought it might have been boarding the way he hit it. But we're going to see it from the official now. The signal.
That's
and
two
it's hooking. Yeah. Well spotted, Ben.
So, again, no sooner as the period started, the Dragons are handing opportunities out to the Hull Jets. Face off to the left of Armstrong in his own zone. And now the power play unit of the Jets once more, very familiar with this ice tonight, have another opportunity. Hackford lays out for his teammate now. Hull try and set up rotation. Beach at the point, goes to take the slapper.
Deflected.
And Parry's able to swing that down the other end.
Wigglesworth pursuing that. Of course, he's wearing the 62 jersey.
And he's gone down. Wigglesworth quickly changes direction, but he's unable to capitalise on it as once again Robinson and Parry there. It's with Beach. Back to Hagger. Dangerous. Big shot straight in. Armstrong reads him well.
Well, it's interesting to see that the Jets aren't easing off. They're not taking the foot off the gas here. They're keeping this pressure onto the Dragons' defence. And if it carries on the way it is with the Dragons conceding penalties, won't be long before we see another goal on the score sheet.
Beach takes the shot and Shaw slides that out. And now again, the Jets trying to set something up. Dragons need to interject themselves into this game here and do something.
Well, there's a minute already gone on that penalty. They managed to wear it out, and the puck flies out over the edge of the plexiglass. We'll have a face-off in the Dragons' end.
5:28 gone in this third period. Still 5-1 in favour to the Hull Jets. If things stay as they are at the moment, the Jets will remain in that chase pack, chasing down the 4th place in the ladler, as Shaw just gains his edge back. And the Jets look to break out again. Hager trying to get around Lovell. Lovell goes through Beach. 25 seconds remain in the penalty.
Ooh.
Robinson. And it's great penalty killing from the Dragons, but it's always taking energy out of them that they haven't got. Oh, Chappell goes through. To shot comes in, and Armstrong does well to get over and glove that with 14 seconds remaining on the power play.
Yeah, he was all on his own on the outside. Took that quick shot in, but Armstrong was wise to it.
So we're going to get a face-off. The Dragons' end, right-hand side of Armstrong. And now the Jets are pushing that puck once more back. It's out in front.
Well saved by Armstrong.
Wainwright feeds Parsons, who builds up speed, goes through Foreman, skates it into the corner, tries to wrap around. Bowater's wise to it.
Oh.
Deeside Dragons back to 5 skates.
As you can hear, Dragons are back to full strength. And Austin has let the puck get past him. Kieran Robinson trying to skate down to it, but they managed to feed Parry. Parry takes a shot.
Oh.
Great shot from Parry, and Bowater does well to catch that in his glove.
Yeah, this is what the Dragons need to do now. They need to take these opportunities and fire these long shots in and hope that they either pick up on a rebound or they go straight in.
So 6:48 gone in this third period. We're going to get a face-off in the Hull zone. It's won by the Dragons, but Beach picks up the loose pass. Beach opens up, nice in front of him. Odd man rush back. Goes round, he's off the post. Rebounds off as well, Hager. Armstrong does amazing to keep it out. Keeps the Dragons in this game.
And this is what the Jets do. They have a man follow-up ready for the rebound.
It's knocked on. Keating's over, goes round the back of the Jets net, feeds it back out in front.
Oh.
Wigglesworth couldn't get there. And Lovell just puts it back in. Well, it's off the netting and out of play. And Gary, you were quite right there. It just seems that every time the Dragons are getting caught short on that quick breakaway.
Yeah, they certainly are, and it's the fact that it's not just one or two players from the Jets, it's 3 or 4 at times. They're flying in there, waiting for any rebounds, any scraps to pick up on, and the Dragons have got to be very careful here.
Face off. Won by the Jets, but Dragons back in possession immediately with Lovell. Tried to clear that puck around, and it was read there by the Jets. Cut back out, so Lovell's picked the pocket, and we've gone back the other way, trying to loop around and find space. Come all the way down for Gieber. Gieber's knocked it forward for Simpson. Great pressure coming as the Dragons tie themselves up. Shaw trying to chase that down. Finds Gieber. Gieber knocked forward from Ward. Puck's played onside.
Yeah, the Dragons need to try and get a goal here before this halfway point in this third period.
And it's an uphill battle for the Dragons. There's a big hit out in front of the penalty box there with Jones.
Yeah, I think it was Shaw they collided with there.
And now they're trying to clear out the zone once more, the Dragons, but it's only come to Simpson at the point. Simpson fancies his chances, tries to go short side. Hackford back out in front, finds Beach.
And again, there was nobody there for the Dragons.
And the Jets have just been able to find this space out in front of net all night.
Yeah, it's they just seem to be in the right place. I mean, we can't take it away. Their passing's been really, really good. They've managed to lay the puck off to the right people in the right places, but when it's sitting right in front of the net in the blue paint area, the Dragons can't afford to be doing that.
Clancy just dumps that on, allowing a quick change for the Dragons. And now Geber feeds Simpson. Simpson lays that up to Beach. Beach to Robinson. Robinson crowded out and taken down by Furnival. Puck's all the way round behind the Dragons' net. It's going to be picked up there by Wainwright. Austin skates that puck over for Parsons. Parsons loses all momentum there because the pass went behind him. It's one of the key attributes we've picked up on the Dragons. The passing just needs to tighten up a little bit more. So many opportunities gone awry because of it. As Austin uses the boards to play to Wainwright. Wainwright tries to find Wigglesworth on the big overlap. And again, Austin round his man. Tries to tie up there with Furnival. They've gone opposite side to Wainwright. Wainwright finds a man in space high there. Opens up. Shot comes in.
Oh! And again, Ben, we're seeing a repeat of almost a repeat of the first period where both teams are testing each other out again.
And Kropowski with the shot that was. As opportunity for the Dragons, parry, gets it off Wigglesworth, parry again, back to Wigglesworth,
yes!
It's in! Oh, it's off the post, no, it's come out!
My goodness, that looked like it went in under the
Morgan
crossbar.
takes the shot, and Wigglesworth denied. Well, he'll be furious with himself. Bowater gets away with it. As Wigglesworth knocks that on. That'd have been exactly what the Dragons needed as we've just crossed the threshold of the halfway point. Morgan finds Keating. Gets his pocket picked. Hagger feeds that on.
And it's 2-on-1.
For Hackford. Hackford over to Beach.
And
there it is. Morgan was hung out to dry.
And that's what they do best. To get that opportunity, the Dragons were caught high again. And yet again, the Jets swoop in, take that opportunity and fire a missile shot into the back of the net. And it's now Dragons 1, Hull Jets 6.
Well, I don't think this is a result that the Dragons even envisaged, Gary. You can see there, Jonah Armstrong, definitely not happy with himself. Won't be happy with his defenders either. So after that Hackford goal, oh no, official, hang on. And face-off, Shaw's being thrown, put in the face-off in replace of Chappell.
Goal number 6 for the Hull Jets, scored by number 10, Dan Hackford.
So, Shaw on the puck for the Dragons, feeds Chappell. Chappell tries to get around Bowater, couldn't get enough on it.
That would have been a cheeky little goal, that.
And I think at this stage in the game, Gary, 11:23 gone in the third period. It's more damage limitation for the Dragons.
I think they'll try anything to get a goal.
Shaw wins the face-off for the Dragons. Clancy puts the puck in. Chappell tries to take it off Robinson. And again, Clancy's over there. Puts the puck right across the paint. No one's there. Puck's up and out. And Perks there, doing well to try and keep the puck alive for the Dragons. So you can see a few names on the ice now for the Dragons you wouldn't normally see. That's because I think that Gary Shaw's offered to give some ice time to those young lads. He's going to be needing them late on in the season.
Yeah, it's a long way to go, yeah. And obviously, this game just coming ahead of the Christmas break, and the Dragons didn't need to be at the lower end of the table going into January, and the Jets going to be quite happy, because whoever takes the win here tonight will probably leapfrog into 4th spot.
As face-off is won by the Jets but cleared out. Wainwright tries to put that back in. Simpson tries to pick it out at the end, does so. Beach. And now the Dragons again turn back the other way. Parsons tries to get round Hager, does so. Oh, Hager almost brought down Parsons. Krampasky. Parsons hits the ice. The official's arms up, and it's a rare penalty on the Hull Jets.
Well, it looks like, is it
Eber?
Yeah, Eber's brought down. Was it Parsons who brought down?
Yeah, Parsons has been brought down there.
Yeah, he looks a little bit shaken still, but the official helping him to his feet. He's going to go to the box.
That's going to be a 2-minute call. Probably be a tripping call, Gary.
Yeah, there's an opportunity now for the Dragons to try and get one back.
Dragons on the power play for the second time tonight. And now, can they do something with this opportunity? Chappell. Clever board play there from Forster. And the referee loses sight of the puck there, so he blows that dead. Well, it's only pride I think the Dragons will be playing for now, Gary, as 5 goals in little under 8 minutes is a big ask.
Well, it is doable, but I don't think it is against this Hull Jets team.
Jets managed to force the puck out the zone. Lovell puts that back in, but it's pushed straight back out again. Slides that over to Jones. Finds Parry on the blue. Parry thinks about going and does. In the corner. He's got Lovell at the point. Uses him. Looks to go back in. Right across the paint. Jones looking for the redirect there as he put it in between Chappell and Wigglesworth.
Oh, and it's gone all the way down.
Lovell gets back, receives that puck off Armstrong. Minute gone in this power play opportunity already. Jones of the Dragons. Right across again to Parry, wide open on this wing. And Parry doing well to hold it up and draw the defenders over. Wainwright skates up, keeps that puck moving, but the chewing time up here, 35 seconds now remain on the power play opportunity. Wainwright, back to Parry. Trying to get something going. The clock slowly winding down. Parry takes the shot straight into Bowater's chest.
Well, it's one of those things, isn't it, Ben? It's that thing of time and motion when you're clock watching. When you're in a penalty, you've got a 2-minute penalty. Those 2 minutes take forever. But when you're on a power play, those 2 minutes just go in no time whatsoever. And you've got to make the most of it.
So Hager versus Shaw in the face-off. It's won by the Dragons. Parsons to Wainwright, Wainwright to Austin. Austin shoots! And Gav Austin with another one of his wonder goals.
Yeah, just in front of the blue line. Fires a shot from distance right through all the defenders and the Dragons players hanging around the box. And it goes into the back of the net. Gives the Dragons a goal back in this game. It's now Dragons 2, Hull Jets 6.
Well, 14:04 shows on the clock here at the Deeside Leisure Centre. They've got little over 6 minutes left to get anything out of this game. Can they do 4 goals? Only time will tell. Puck drops. And immediately, Hager wins it for the Jets. Drives it into the Dragon zone, but Austin, the goal scorer, is back. Tries to play that out. Tie up out in front of the Dragons bench. Wainwright intercepts the loose puck. Jets very quick on the line change. Shaw tries to knock that on. It's cut out. And Hull, very clever game plan of just knocking the momentum out of the Dragons every time they get something going.
Yeah, they tried to take control of the puck and play it their game, their pace.
Parsons!
Oh, it's in!
Finds Shaw.
And that's exactly what we've been saying. When these pucks go loose in front of the goal, you've got to take your chances, and Parsons was sitting at the back post when that puck came flying across.
Well, the goal will be accredited to Shaw. It's Parsons who managed to get a stick on it and put it across.
Right.
Shaw finds the back door.
Happened so quickly.
Well, don't write them out yet.
Are we seeing a comeback?
3 goals is all that's required. And Hull have called a timeout. Well, Gary, you can see them there. The coach is barking the orders now. Get your heads in the game. Come on, we had this in the bag. You can see him.
Well, Bo Water certainly wasn't happy with that goal. As soon as it went in the net, as the Dragons were celebrating, he turned to his defenders and was shouting. Because that was an unnecessary puck flying back across your own goal. Nobody there to stop it.
Well, as the fog of war once descends on this ice rink, we get ready to drop the puck again. And this time the face-off's won by Hull. Great pressure coming in from the Dragons. The Dragons smell blood in the water. They're going after it. Foreman gets back, tries to find Hackford on the boards. Dragons just hold that up mid-ice. Forster to Ward, straight into the glove of Armstrong, who dumps that down for Clancy. No time to wait. Dragons try and go again, but Hackford puts a stop in the plan. Turns it back, and once more Lovell behind his own net with the puck, getting chased down. So high forecheck pressure now by both teams. It's centre ice, still with the Jets. Have to go back to Foreman. Trying to find Hackford, he releases that quickly. And it's going to be a game of chewing the clock up for the Jets. Dragons desperately throwing everything forward the minute they get there. Keaton's knocked it on. Well, Bowater got out of his net quickly. As we go back the other way, Forster and Parry into the corner. Can they dig it out in time? Time ticking away, literally. 15:50 now on the clock gone. Foreman puts that back in. Armstrong knocks it over for Austin to retrieve. Austin finds Jones on his own blue. Through no man's land. Takes it round. 3 defenders. It's gone off the opposite boards and immediately picked up by Geber.
Yeah, they need to be a bit more clinical with their passing, the Dragons.
Wigglesworth chases down Geber. Big hit on Geber there. Trying to cause a mistake out in front. There's a man gone down. And now the other way, Robinson takes a shot off the blocker of Armstrong.
Yeah, it was Wigglesworth that hit the deck before.
He's been in the wars tonight, that man. As Wainwright tries to skate it up. Great poke check there from Robinson.
Oh, well saved by Austin.
Desperately trying to clear it away. They're throwing the bodies at everything. That's all the Dragons want to do. It's long ball tactics. Big shot comes in. It's off the chest of Bowater. He spills it out.
And quick line change by the Dragons.
Geber is going to be there to pick it up and feed it back round. Come all the way around the boards. Ryan Jones there for the Dragons now. 17 minutes on the clock. 3 minutes remain. 3 goals needed. Shaw lays it off for Lovell. On the far side over. Was Furnival. Couldn't get there. Bowater denies once more. Lovell finds Furnival. Furnival timing it. Trying to go to the paint. Ends up going back to the point. Parsons at the point takes the shot off a body. Off Beach and cleared out. Beach is taking that one to the hand. He's going to go off by the look of it. He is skating to the bench. Again, Dragons straight back on that puck. Turn it round. Trying to find Furnival. Do so. Furnival. He's got Shaw who's onside. Bodied off the puck by Foster. Dangerously off the post of his own goal. And now we're going with Hackford. Hackford turns it straight back down the other end of the ice. Hackford gets his head up. 3 men in support. Finds Hagger near him. Gets a shot off. Armstrong has to get down. Furnival lays it off behind his own net to Lovell. Lovell slows it up for a second but needs to keep the pace going. Tried to find Clancy. Does so through a mistake of the Hull Jets. Foreman's digging away at it. And they've cleared it off the point there from Hackford.
There's less than 2 minutes on the clock remaining.
Ryan Jones and the Dragons knocks it on to Clancy, chipped into the corner. Foreman and Clancy. Finds Chappell. Chappell tried to dig it out. Shut off by Foreman again. Shot comes in. Deflection off a stick. Laid off. Shot comes in. Chappell! It's spilled out front again, and the Jets have managed to clear it. Down the other end is Hackford. Hackford shut out in a white cup. Players surrounded him. Robinson at the point. Armstrong sees that late and gets to it. Well, let me catch my breath.
End-to-end action there, and the Dragons are not giving up, even though there's just over a minute remaining on the clock. But it's a tall ask to try and get 3 in a minute.
Dare I say that those dangerous words, overtime.
Nah, I don't think we...
The shot comes in straight into the chest of Armstrong. He's down, seals that up.
Yeah, I think we can safely say we're safe for overtime.
I think for the Hull Jets now, it's just a case of retain the puck and chew the clock up.
Yeah, keep the puck up the other end of the ice, make the Dragons play.
And they tie up on the face-off there. It's cleared out. Still though, the Jets in possession with Simpson. Simpson, as quite rightly he would, just dumps that straight into the Dragon zone. It's found Wigglesworth. Wigglesworth was through, but he's offside. And you'd have fancied Wigglesworth against Geber there.
Yeah, and we're already into the final minute now. We're well into that.
So it's pretty much set in stone that the 2 points tonight belong to the Hull Jets. They're playing for pride now, the Dragons. Beach with the shot. Goes wide. Jones is over for the Dragons. Wainwright skates it through. Forced to go through 2 men. Lays it off to Parry though. Parry puts it in the paint. Sticked out by Bowater. Beach can't drag it in. Put back by Jones. Off the legs of a Hull player. Chipped away by Beach. We're into the final 30 seconds. And now the Dragons, for formality, playing the clock out. Still going forward. Parsons is able to get hold of that. Parsons still backhands it. Bowater has to kick it out.
Yeah, he was in an awkward position there.
3, 2, 1. There's your buzzer. There's your game.
Well, and what a game.
Not what I would expected, Gary. We said at the start of the show, just because they only carried 12 skaters with them, or 13 skaters, you couldn't write off the Hull Jets. They proved it tonight.
Well, we've seen them in the playoffs, which is, you can also catch that game on our YouTube channel. If you scour through the many games over the 4 seasons we've been involved with Drop the Puck, and you'll catch all of them there. But you'll see that the Hull Jets have been a team that have always been there or thereabouts towards the top. They like flying high, and they've flown high tonight here at the Deeside Leisure Centre. They've taken all the points. They've come out 6-3 winners over the Dragons. It'll be interesting to see what the players and coaches will have to say when we go down between the tunnels. But before that, we're going to take a short break and a word from our sponsors.
Dunarmus Sportswear, sponsors of Drop the Puck.
And we're with coach and captain of the Hull Jets. Guys, you've got to be pleased with the result of that.
Absolutely. Like 2 weeks ago, we didn't play last weekend, and the weekend before we played Widnes, and we got beat 1-0. Again, we played really well. We didn't look out of place. The shots were about the same. We played really convincing. It was just a 1-goal game, and we've been unlucky. And we was like today, short benched, Deeside hard rink, physical side, but we stuck to our guns, stuck to our game plan, and we executed it really well today.
Now, Andy out there, it looked a nice, calm and placid game until roughly around that second period. How did it feel out there?
We knew Deeside was going to come at us. They always do. It's always a tough game. First period, Deeside went 1-0 up, and we hit the metalwork a couple of times, and we knew we just needed to keep chipping away, keep going at them with a short bench, and get one, and then it's a 0-0 game almost, and go at them.
So what was the game plan heading into this?
for us, it was just forechecking. It was a forcing. We was just trying to force the D's as much as we could, and cause turnovers. They've got strong skaters, Lovell and all, and Parsons, big players. Campbell, they know how to play. Furnival, he knows how to play. They know how to move the puck. And once you close them down, it's the neutral zone. If you close them down in the neutral zone, you'll win games here. And it's also discipline.
Well, you picked up, key point there, you picked it up on discipline. Myself and Gary mentioned it at the start of the show. Going into this game tonight, Jets only had 144 penalty minutes against them compared to the 400 odd that the Dragons have currently conceded. Again, we saw it, so many power play opportunities for yourselves tonight. How important is the special teams when you do get the opportunity?
It's crucial. It changes the game. You mentioned when we played Widnes, we had a number of power plays and we just didn't capitalise, we didn't score and we ended up losing the game. Done some work over the past couple of weeks, we've not had any games, so we've worked on the special teams and it started to come together today, and we knew that it was, discipline was going to be key, so we kept our discipline. Deeside not quite as disciplined and, paid off in the end.
Yeah, the old adage, keep your skaters on the ice and not in the box and it'll come to fruition for yourself. This year, though, in the Ladler, it's a bit of a mad one. Teams pinch and wins off each other. How do you see the rest of the season rolling out now, Coach?
I've said, and I said this last year when I think I was talking to you guys about it. I think if you don't turn up for a game and you don't perform, you're going to get beat. And I think that the league's Widnes are winning away with it slightly, but they're a strong side. But then you've got second to fourth to fifth, and it's just 2 points, and that's all it is. That'll probably knock us back up to third, maybe. But it's a strong league, and you just have to turn up every night. You've got to literally turn. It's a lot stronger. Like we've said before, you're coming to watch British players, and this is what it's all about. It's a lot stronger. This league's a lot more sustainable than the other league. It's a lot stronger. Teams can turn anybody ever, and it's great for the public to come and watch. We've had some right cracking games at Hull, and we're getting people coming through the door. And they love to watch the Brits play, like the likes of Andy, who's been around a long time, he's a veteran and stuff, but it's great to see, and people are enjoying the games. And when we played Widnes, that was a cracking game, wasn't it? It was end to end, and you pay £5 to come and watch these guys, and it's fantastic. Same with Deeside here, they've got a cracking setup, and they'll turn teams over, discipline would got them tonight, but that's just the way things go. We're quite good with our discipline, and as like Andy said, we have been working on the power play, trying to get some sort of things sorted out. But we've got workhorses in that team. We really have. We've got two lines who I think are probably the best two lines in the league, forward lines, and the D's they're coming on strong. And obviously our goaltender's a massive part for us tonight, and he has been all season, and he will be all season for us.
Yeah, well, we saw Dean obviously in the playoffs last season. We know he had the legs to go to overtime as well. We saw him in that dramatic shootout. But at the end of the day, you're the guys that have skated out with the win tonight. It was hard fought, well deserved maybe, but definitely look to see you again in the future, and we hope to catch you again soon.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been really good. Thank you ever so much. Great show, by the way, guys. Great show.
Absolutely.
Great show.
And with Jeff Wigglesworth of the Deeside Dragons, Jeff, a disappointing result there tonight.
Every game at home, mate, we seem to be slipping up. We're going away to Coventry, Telford, Hull, dominating games, and then we're coming home and we've got no plan B, mate. Just once it doesn't go our way, or we're looking across to the other person all the time just to bail us out. And I said it 2 years ago when I was here, and it seems to be the same mentality at the moment, but I think this break's going to do us good.
Yeah, you talk about the Christmas break there quite rightly. It's vital that most teams, fighting for top contention leading into that. The Dragons going in tonight, that win would have, catapulted them to fourth, back in playoff contention.
We needed that, yeah.
So heading in now, what's going to need to be done to turn it back around?
Well, we've got Bradford first game back. That's going to be it. They smashed us 8-0. Deservedly, they was a good quality team. I don't know what we're going to do. We just need to regroup, and we've got to work for each other. I don't think there's enough fight in us at the minute. I think we're coming playing at home. We're going through the motions. Like tonight, I had to drop the gloves with the biggest guy on the ice. I'm the smallest guy on the ice. Do you know what I mean? Well,
we happened to our cameraman happened to catch a comment of Jay happened to say for a small guy he throws haymakers. Credit to yourself there. But it's one of those. What you obviously felt like you needed to do that to instigate a bit of fight out the lads.
I knocked myself out just before it, didn't I?
We saw that, yeah.
Yeah, I was knocked out then. Went off the ice, had my head sorted, and then come back on. I think there's a bit of frustration in myself for doing what I did, and I blame the other lad. I went after the other lad first, and then I thought, no, I'll just go with the biggest one. That's what you got to do, ain't you?
And going in now, we're coming back. You quite rightly mentioned you got Bradford there. Yeah. What are going to be your personal goals now coming up for the rest of the season?
I don't think I played well all season. I didn't play well when I was at Widnes last year. I think I just need to regroup and go back to basics and learn my game again. I feel like I've gone off the boil a little bit. My passion's still there, my heart's there. No one's got a bigger heart than me on the ice, mate. I'll give it 110%. You know me very well. I don't know, I just need to take a step back and just do the basics.
Well, Jeff, we wish the best for yourself and the family over this festive period, and obviously for the Dragons in the future, and we'll catch you again soon.
Thank you very much, thank you.
Well, there you have it. Interesting interview. The key thing for me coming into this one was the fact that we'd already played each other twice in fact, home and away. Dragons won at their barn, Hull won here. So it was evens going into this, and you kind of think, 1 point separating them, it's going to be a close one, but it didn't turn out that way at all.
Well, dare I say, we called it at the start of the game. You can't write off Hull just because they were short benched. The guys skate hard, and it's one of those. But at the end of the day, I think that the Dragons cost themselves a little bit of the game there. I don't know how many times we've got to mention it. Discipline. I think at one point I said in the commentary, 12 power play opportunities by the second period alone the Jets have been given, of which they've converted 2. Whereas we've seen the Dragons, normally give a good account of themselves the first period, maybe slack off the second, and then go hard on the third. They didn't even turn up in the second period.
Yeah, so let's have a recap of the whole game. So, of course, the first period, 1-0 to the Dragons, and you thought to yourself, Furnivall getting that quick goal, and you think, here we go, looking good for the Dragons. And then goes in the first period break, and the ice completely tilts in the opposite way, but in such a drastic way that it seemed that the Dragons just imploded.
Yeah, there was all sorts going on, little nibbles. I think Hull realised they had to skate a little bit harder, start working the Dragons, drawing them into more penalties, which is exactly what happened. Fell right into the Hull game plan. Obviously that big incident with Wigglesworth as well. You heard Jeff in the interview there, he was clean, knocked out on the ice, got up and he just wanted to take his frustrations out on someone. And unfortunately, it's when that happens and you do lose your cool and you feel like you've got to take your frustration out on someone. And admittedly, he was trying to do it to fire his teammates up, but it works both ways. It took him off the ice, it took Robinson off the ice as well. But did it fire his teammates up, or then did they have to, work harder because they were on the penalty kill again? It's a two-edged sword.
Well, you say they took Robinson off the ice, and he was such a key player. He managed to get a brace of goals in that second period alone, 5 unanswered points, and you think to yourself, it's game done.
Well, yeah, I think I don't know whether it's mentally the Dragons have shut off already for the Christmas break, or they were just outskated tonight. They were always second to the puck as well. It's hard to say. Only Gary Shaw really knows what happened. And I think between himself and James Parsons, when they get back for that first game against Bradford, there's going to be a lot of changes made, and they're going to want to prove themselves. And Bradford are going to come to, I think the fact the Dragons are away at Bradford, and they are doable. The Dragons could turn Bradford over, and if they do, it'll be a great start to the new year for them. But right now in this Laidler, as is, anybody can turn anyone over, and you heard Andy Ward and the coach down there say it in the interview. It's a case of you can't think you're already sat pretty in second, third, fourth, fifth at the moment, because until that final game's played, it's still open for everyone.
Well, you say that I think it's a home game against Bradford. I think they played Bradford before the Christmas break, but they've got one more game remaining. But I think it's pretty much you hit the nail on the head there, and that second period just showed just how much a team can get under another team's skin. We know Wigglesworth wears his heart on his sleeve, and he'll drop for any of his teammates. He'll drop gloves for any of his teammates, but when it self-destructs in such a way that the team falls behind the way it did, and has such a detrimental effect on the way the score went, and Hull must have just been laughing at that.
Yeah, I'm not saying the entire second period solely was up to Jeff Wigglesworth. I was just saying, that's part of the equation. It was already well on its way there, but these penalty monsters keep creeping up. You mentioned them at the beginning of the show. As long as you've got guys in the team that will sit there and would rather rack up the minutes in the box than rack up the points on the board, you're going to have issues. And I think each team in the league right now has got a few monsters lurking around on their benches that need to be addressed.
But the good thing for Gary Shaw, though, is he's got some depth in his Dragon squad. and hopefully, you know, he should start looking into that depth a bit more, maybe giving more players more time, like, as he did in that third period. But that third period, the Dragons came out on top on that third period, 2-1, but the score still finished at 3 to the Dragons, 6 to the Jets. They take the 2 points, and with results of around the league tonight, that leapfrogs the Jets into 4th spot and gives them a good chance going into that Christmas break, because they don't play now till January, second week of January. They've got to be happy.
Yeah, you know, they've gone into this period break now, cracking amount of time to just sit back, reflect, sort a lot of stuff out. But I think it's going to be a case of every team is going to look at themselves coming into this break now. What can we do to change? What can we do to contest? What do we not need to do to concede? And I think that's going to be the main factor for a lot of people.
Well, the main 2 things to point out going into today's game and at the outcome is that the Dragons and Widnes Wild are the 2 teams that have played the most games so far. Hull have got 3 games in on advantage on the Dragons. So right now they've built a bit of a cushion. The Dragons now find themselves 7 points behind second spot, and it's going to be a tough climb for them now.
It certainly is. You know, pretty much I think Widnes have run away with this league. Although we say that the Senators are right behind them, so that's a 2-horse race there. Then you've got the chasing pack. You know, it's a little bit like the Tour de France. You get your sprinters out front, you get your mid pack, and then you get your tail enders, which unfortunately this season do happen to be the Blackburn Hawks. But we know they're in development, and we've seen it with the Dragons in the past. It'll take a season or 2 to climb out that development stage, and when you do, you usually come out something really special. I don't know for the rest of the season, you know, how it's going to fare. If I had to put my money on it, I fancy Widnes taking it again. Senators second. I wouldn't rule the Dragons out of playoffs, although I'd like to see Altrincham Aces up there as well. I think they've worked hard enough to try and get something out of this league.
Well, they're certainly getting some results, but they're still not getting the wins. I think it's a tall ask for Altrincham, but who knows? There's a long way to go yet as we go into this new year. And the second half of this season, you catch most of the action here on Drop the Puck. I've been Gary Lee.
I've been Ben Lee.
Thanks for joining.
Dunarmus Sportswear, sponsors of Drop the Puck,